Okay, so hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. If you are new and you enjoy this video and you want to see more in the future, please feel free to hit subscribe down below before you leave. Also, just really quickly on that note, because somehow my silly little brain has forgotten to mention this in any of my recent uploads, but we've hit 100k on this channel. What? That is so crazy to me. I think from the day that I'm filming this, I hit it about a week ago, and it still doesn't feel real, to be honest. It just is so insane, and I cannot thank you guys enough for helping me reach, honestly, my childhood goal. Like, I never ever thought this day would come, and it's just incredible to have that many of you following me on my little journey here on YouTube. And yeah, I'm just so grateful to each and every one of you for even watching, for liking a video, for subscribing, of course. I honestly can't tell you how much it means to me. So on with the video. As you can tell from the title, I'm going to be doing an assumptions about me video. So I asked you guys over on my Instagram, which by the way, if you don't follow it, it's always linked down below. If you want to go and follow it, it's just Emily Philpott. I asked you to assume a load of things about me. Now, I had a lot of assumptions, way more than I thought I would. So basically, throughout this video, I'm going to kind of debunk all of your assumptions. I'm going to answer them, tell you whether they're true or not, tell you whether you're assuming the right things, and if you're not, then you're going to find out the truth in this video. I am really excited to get into it, so I'm going to cut the intro here and get straight on with the first assumption. Also, if you haven't noticed already, I have got a bucket of rosé with me. I'm not going to lie, half of this has already gone, but this is my little comfort because some of the assumptions were a little bit off, a little bit hard-hitting, let's say. So no feelings are going to be hurt today with rosé by my side. I'm going to start off with an easy one, which actually came up quite a lot, which is you want children. And yes, 100% I do. Not anytime soon, may I add. I've had quite a few questions recently. I think it's because we bought a house. Everyone now immediately thinks we're either getting married, getting a dog, or having kids. We are doing none of those three. I can promise you now. The next one is you have thought about getting filler. No, honestly, I haven't. I have never thought about getting it. I've had so many questions asking if I would ever get it, and I don't think I would. It's not something that really interests me. For me personally, I just don't think fillers and stuff like that would be the answer to my insecurities. I feel like when I personally am insecure about something, I'd rather work on it mentally than, say, booking a doctor's appointment. And obviously that's my personal preference. So no, I've not thought about getting fillers. Someone has said that you and Brad don't argue ever. That is incorrect. Yeah, we definitely argue. I mean, we're a very normal couple. We've been together for nearly 7 years now, so I think if you can go 7 years and not have one argument, then wow, you are doing something right. But yeah, I mean, like every couple, we definitely bicker a lot. We have our indifferences. Oh my god. Okay, someone has said you and Misha are frenemies. I didn't even know that that was a word. No, like, I think she's crazy in her own way. We are very different people. That probably comes across online, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think, of course, you're going to have differences to people. Of course, you're going to have people that you don't necessarily hang out with as much as others. So no, we're not frenemies. We are friends. We do really get along. She's one of the most hilarious girls I've ever met in my life. I suppose that's what I've got to say about that one. Whenever I've watched other people's videos doing this, so many people say this, and a lot of people have said this in mine as well, which is just you're rich. Just two words, just you're rich. No, I would not say I am rich. I definitely say that I'm comfortable, and I'll be open with that. But at the same time, I think with being comfortable comes a lot of work to get there. Can I say that? I'm really worried how like this video is going to come across, but I'm just going to try and be real with you guys and we'll see how this goes. Okay, someone says you're the mum of the friend group. I would honestly say no. I'm the one that stops drinking first. That might be like a mum-like thing to do. I would say, to be fair, that on a night out, I'm the one that's kind of worried about if everybody's okay. Yeah, I feel like a lot of us kind of share that title, and especially with my home friends as well. It just depends what the situation is, if you know what I mean. The next one is you have only been with your boyfriend, and yes, I've only ever been with Brad. I think another assumption was that I've only ever slept with one person, who is Brad, and yes, that is also true. I kind of like that though. Kind of like the fact that I've not had to filter through a load of bad scenarios to find my one person. I luckily found him when I was 16, and I'm more than happy with that. Another one, you're rich. This one, you're posh. I wouldn't class myself as posh. I wouldn't say so anyway. I've met many more posh people in my time than me. You were a straight A student. I wish. No, I was not. Really far from it, to be honest. I just didn't really love education, so no, I'm just gonna say that that assumption is completely false, and I was not a straight A student at all. This one's really interesting. You do all the work around the house, Brad doesn't help much. This couldn't actually be further from the truth. Brad is a saint when it comes to housework. He does a lot of the cleaning, we share a lot of the jobs, he puts the bins out and stuff like that. Like, we really do share the workload in terms of like house chores. We both like to cook and stuff like that, so it's definitely very even in our household in terms of chores, cooking, everything like that. Someone said you want kids but Brad doesn't, and no, that is not true. Me and Brad both want kids in the future. Someone said you're the boss in your relationship. I honestly think it's just like dependent on the scenario. I wouldn't say either Brad or I are like the overall boss of our relationship, or like who wears the trousers type thing. It's quite even, but yeah, it definitely depends like in what sense we're talking as to who kind of takes over the situation. Wow, your parents are super rich and you grew up with an amazing and privileged lifestyle. I mean, I kind of want to touch on this one because again, I had a lot of these about like my parents and stuff. I definitely had the most amazing childhood. I literally could not fault my parents in any way, shape or form. I'm actually in my family home right now. If you didn't know, this is kind of where we're living for now while we're waiting for our new house to be ready. But besides the point, this is a gorgeous home. My dad has done very well for himself in life, and I will always be so proud of him for that. So yeah, I would say I was privileged in the sense that I had an amazing upbringing in an amazing area of the country, in an amazing place, with amazing parents. So if that counts, then yeah, go for it. Your hair is natural, no extensions. That is true. I have not got any extensions in my hair at all. I always get questions on what extensions I'm using or what my hair care is and stuff, but no, I do not wear extensions. You have had a little lip filler. No, again, this is a question that I always get. I'd probably say I've been blessed with fuller lips because I always get this question, and I feel like people don't believe me when I say I have never had filler, but I promise you I have never had filler. I think my mum said to me that when she was younger she had really full lips, and as you get older your lips thin. So yeah, I'm kind of sad about that, but no, I have never had any filler in any area of my face or my body. Wow, your house was nearly £1 million. Honey, I wish. No, it was not. Nowhere near. You have minimal friends, but those ones are really good. I couldn't have said that better myself, honestly. As you get older, I feel like most people end up counting their friends on literally one hand, which I feel like I can with my closest friends, which is so fine by me, because for those people to be who you can generally call like close friends, it's so much better to have that than like a massive friend group where if you actually needed someone, you're not really sure who you could go to. So yeah, I'd 100% agree with that statement. You didn't complete a college education, not that it means anything good or bad at all. I did complete college. I went to, the school that I went to did have a sixth form within the school, which is like the college years, but I left after my GCSEs. Yeah, I went to a different college, and then I got my A-levels in photography, textiles and business. They weren't great grades, but I did get them, so I did complete college. Oh, someone said you're really down about the house situation and trying to keep positive. I'd kind of agree with that. I think the more I think about it, the more it gets me down, which is why I am just staying positive, because getting down about it doesn't change a thing. So I just think that's pretty pointless. If I sat here and got upset or stressed about it, it's not going to actually aid the situation at all. It's not going to change any of the outcomes. So I'm just, yeah, keeping positive, taking each day as it comes. Obviously there are so many worse things going on in the world than us just being a little bit delayed moving into our house. So that's the way I'm kind of looking at it. And yeah, like I say, we'll just see what happens. You naturally have perfect skin. I wouldn't say I have perfect skin. I definitely have a lot of kind of texture to my skin, and I also struggle with a lot of redness. So I wouldn't say I have the most amazing skin, but by no means is it bad in any way. I definitely do not struggle with my skin, which I feel very grateful for, and honestly is the biggest thanks to my mum and dad, because they have great genes. So shout out to you, mum and dad, thanks for passing them down to me. But yeah, obviously to answer that, I would say that I don't struggle with my skin, and I definitely wouldn't say that it's like problematic in any way, if that makes sense. Some of these are so sweet. Someone said you put a lot of effort into your YouTube content and it means a lot to you. 100%. I don't feel like I need to say any more on that. Wow, okay, someone says you have sex a lot. No, honestly, I don't have sex a lot. I suppose it completely depends what you mean by a lot, and people probably have different answers for what they feel like is a lot, and not very often. You want to get pregnant soon? No, I don't think I do. I feel like I go through phases of like, oh, I really want a baby, and then I'm like, oh no, I want to literally travel the world and like not have a baby. So definitely not soon is how I would answer that one. You didn't go to uni? No, I did not go to uni. It just wasn't really for me. I didn't really fancy it. I didn't have anything that I wanted to kind of do at uni, and to be honest, by that point of education I was so done with it. Like, I wanted to go and earn money, so that's what I did. You are jealous of Misha and George's relationship? No, I am honestly not. I feel like it's just completely unhealthy if like in a friend group you get jealous of like somebody else's friendship. that's not healthy. That's when you need to kind of start looking at yourself. So no. Someone said you and Brad have had a break/breakup at some time in your relationship. We have never ever had a break or a breakup. I feel like every relationship does get tested at some point, especially when we have literally gone from being like 16, so kids, to 23 and 24. Like, we are now adults. That is a lot of growing up in that time. That is a lot of learning. There are a lot of things that you kind of experience within that time of growing up. So we've definitely like had our challenges, I guess, but we've never ever like gone on a break because of anything, just because I personally don't really understand breaks. I don't know if it's just me, and maybe for some people they do really work. I just don't think I would deal well with like a break. I wouldn't necessarily know what that means. So yeah, it's just not something that we've ever done, and I don't think we would ever try and resolve any situation with that kind of method. Someone said you're lazy with uploading vlogs. I mean, maybe. I don't mean to be. I just feel like I don't really vlog too much. Sometimes I'll say that a vlog is going live and then it will be delayed, and that honestly, guys, is only because I put so much effort into editing my vlogs, because I want them to be interesting. Like, I want them to be almost like a bit of a storyline, and for it to be edited well together. So yeah, sometimes I put a lot of effort in. Sometimes delays happen if like my software is being slow, or there's something else that I see in the video that I want to change, and just little things like that. So maybe that's where the assumptions come from. You're pregnant? No, I'm not. Cheers to that. I would not be holding this in my hand if I was pregnant, so I promise I'm not. Someone said you've had a nose job, which is interesting because another assumption was that you want a nose job. The first assumption is incorrect. I have not had a nose job, and to be 100% real with you guys, with the second assumption, I definitely have thought and spoken about having a nose job, but I honestly don't think I care enough. Like, I just have never got to the point where it's got me down that much that I would actually act on it. So as much as I've spoken about that as a procedure, which by the way, that is probably one of very minimal procedures in that realm that I would ever get done, I would have to think about it for a very long time. So yeah, that's interesting. Wow, another one. You're pregnant. Still drinking the rosé. Your parents helped you pay for the house. They did not. We have paid for everything ourselves. The only thing that my parents have helped us for money-wise in the past is that they helped us with our deposit on our first flat in London. So I'm not sure if many of you guys have even been around since then, but yeah, they helped us with a deposit for that. We have paid them back, but the flat after that, our house that we've just moved out of, and the house that we've bought and we're going to move into soon, they have not given us a penny. They haven't needed to, which has been great. So yeah, I hope that clears that up. You and your boyfriend nearly split up for cheating. Say it or shot it with Georgia. I feel like I really gave off like a complete misconception in that video, and I really didn't mean to. Like I briefly touched on just a second ago, you definitely do a lot of growing up in a relationship when you've been with someone from such a young age, and obviously in that time, like I said before, you will experience very different things. You will face different challenges. We didn't nearly split up. Like I say, there were definitely challenges that we did face, without going into it too much, that I guess caused upset. Is that a way of putting it? I don't really know how to word it without like going into anything, because I don't really want to. Like, it's the past of the past, do you know what I mean? Yeah, it wasn't cheating. Nobody did anything wrong. It's just you being young and naive, and that's it. That's all I can say. But no, we didn't nearly split up. We definitely had words, and that was about it. Someone said you always get guys chasing after you. I really don't, like, honestly, at all, which obviously is great because I'm in a relationship and I wouldn't really want to deal with the hassle of that. Not saying that anybody would be chasing after me, but no guys chasing after me whatsoever. You hated working an office job and always wanted YouTube to be your career. 100%. I didn't necessarily hate working an office job. I think it depends what your job is. Like, the job that I did just before I went self-employed in doing YouTube myself was in social media. So I was doing social media for Pan and Ice, which is an ice cream company, and they're obviously based down in London. So when I lived there, that was the job that I was doing before this. So I didn't really hate that office job because the guys in the office were super cool. I really got on with all of them. It was just like fun every single day. But yeah, ultimately YouTube has always been what I wanted to do. So it still blows my mind every day that it is now what I'm doing, and even more so now that there's 100,000 of you. Like, what? You and Brad aren't that close anymore. No, this is so not true. We've always been super close. Like, me and Brad since literally day one have been so comfortable with each other. And I say this to so many people, and I don't ever want it to come across the wrong way, but like, me and Brad are mates before anything. Like, we are best friends before anything. So we have a laugh together. We are comfortable with each other about everything. Like, anything that we do kind of argue about isn't that deep ever. Like, it's just, we try and keep our relationship just fun. And I feel like that's one of the keys to like having a healthy long-term relationship, is just making it fun, like enjoying life together and experiencing things together as a couple. So yeah, we're super close, always have been, and I feel like fingers crossed, hopefully always will be. You and G are so close. Yes, I would say so. We have grown a very, very tight friendship over really quite a short space of time, but we're just so similar. It's crazy. Like, even our upbringings, the areas that we grew up in, just everything about our lives is more or less the same, and we have the same kind of views on things, that we just get on. And I think that's like the biggest thing in our friendship. We just have so much fun together. We talk about absolutely everything. We know so many things about each other. And yeah, literally love that girl so much. So I definitely say that we are pretty close. You get lonely with Brad being away so much. I definitely do. I feel like some people might have picked up on the fact that, like, if he goes away, I'll stay at like one of our parents' houses. So I'll either go to his parents' house and have dinner with them and stay at their house, or I'll come and see my mum and dad and spend the evening with them. I only really do that because, first of all, it's quite nice that when he's away, it means that I can just like go and see one of the families and catch up with them. And then obviously if it's his parents, I can then catch him up on like what they're up to and stuff like that. Especially if he is having a super busy week, we don't necessarily always have the time to see everyone that we want to see. So when he is away, I do kind of take that opportunity to do the rounds of everyone basically and just check in. But I definitely do get a little bit lonely at home. I don't really love being at home on my own. Sometimes I do. I just feel like I need to be in the right mindset, and I feel like a lot of people might be able to relate to that. Sometimes I crave like alone time and just want a bit of headspace to myself, but then other times I'm like, don't leave me, I don't want to be on my own and I need company. Another assumption was that you love company, and yeah, I would say that's true. I do love being around people, and if I had to choose, I would prefer to be around people than not. You get bored sometimes being an influencer. No, I have the best job in the world. I could literally do whatever I want with my day. I can see whoever I want, I can talk to whoever I want, I can literally do whatever. Like, my job is so baffling as to how flexible it is. Like, it gives me so many crazy opportunities, but it also is just like so flexible that I physically couldn't get bored. If I ever felt bored in a day, then I'm doing something wrong. It's just not boring to me in any way, shape or form. Yes, there's obviously slower days than others, and yes, there's days where I'm not doing as much as I might usually, but they're just my down days. They're the days that I appreciate so much more. If I am super busy, I just take those days to chill, but by no means am I bored, because oh my god, there could be so many more boring jobs that I could be doing. So no, never ever bored as an influencer. Okay, so this is kind of on the same line. So someone says being a YouTuber slash influencer can get really lonely. I don't necessarily agree with this statement for me personally. Yes, obviously we are at home most of the time. We're kind of working by ourselves, for ourselves, and I do see how that could get lonely for people. But with me working from home and with the way that Brad's job works, he's also home quite a lot as well. So I suppose I don't get lonely because he's there, but also if I did feel lonely, I'd literally pick up my phone, I'd go on Instagram and I'd DM someone. I'd have a chat with someone, I'd FaceTime my friends. Like, there are so many people that I have met through doing this as a job, and I feel so lucky to be able to have done that literally just through this little thing here, like my phone. I feel like it's a really social job, especially with events and stuff. You get to just go and meet so many different people. I get to talk to you guys all the time. Like, there's so many aspects to it that could keep me busy and keep me socializing. So yeah, personally don't agree with the statement, but I do understand where people are coming from when they do agree with it. You would like to get married soon. I am in no rush. I feel like when I was younger, I was so adamant that I was going to be married young and I'd have kids young, but now I'm 23, which I know isn't that old, but I used to always think that I'd have my first kid at 25, and now I'm like, that's in 2 years. Like, there's so many things I want to do in 2 years that I don't think I can possibly get done. So I don't know. I don't think I want to get married soon. I'm in no rush to have kids at all. Obviously, we've just bought the house, so we'll see what happens next. Stay tuned if you're interested, but I'm just gonna go with it and see what happens, basically. You prefer London to Norwich? I would have to agree with that statement. I just feel like there's so much more going on in London, and most of the events I go to, most of the work stuff that I go to, most of my friends, even from school, they're all from London. So yeah, I feel like I do prefer it, but I prefer how cheap everything is here. Not gonna lie, that is one thing that I do prefer about this place. You don't like going to YouTube events because you think all the girls are bitches. That's bold. I don't agree with that. I don't think that everyone on this platform is a bitch, or a lot of the other assumptions were about people being two-faced and how fake some people are in the industry, which I think everyone kind of sees right through it now. Like, obviously that happens. Again, it's a bit like a school scenario sometimes. A lot of these events can be a little bit playground type vibes, if you get what I mean. But as long as I'm there with G and I've got my girlfriends with me, I love going to events, because 9 times out of 10 you meet the most lovely people. Most of the time I love them, but there's a handful of times where I've been a bit like, this is interesting. You don't care about your body image and how it's shown on Instagram. No, I would agree with that. I don't not care. I just don't think I get too fixated or focused on like how I'm coming across on my platforms. I just try and kind of be as me as I possibly can, because I think that's what's most important. And I also feel like that's what you guys kind of want to see. Like, there's no point in me portraying a life or a body image that's just not me, because I feel like there's only so long that you can keep that up, and that's just not me anyway. So yeah, I definitely agree with that statement. I don't not care as such. I just try and keep all of my stuff as relatable as possible. You're a morning person rather than an evening person. That could not be further from the truth. I'm trying to become a morning person, but it's proving very difficult. I am the type of person that will go to bed at like 4 o'clock in the morning and wake up at about 10 o'clock, sometimes 11. I just work so much better in the night, so I'd rather edit from like midnight to 4 a.m. rather than wake up at like 6 a.m. and use the morning to work. I don't know why, but I'm so much more creative in the evening than I am in the morning. So I do want to change that. I want to get into a much better routine of kind of getting up in the morning, getting my breakfast, having my coffee, and just be a little bit more productive in the morning, because it is the best time of the day. I do love mornings, but I'm just so bad at the getting up part, so that's what we're working on. Oh, I love this. Not so much of an assumption, but you carry yourself really well. I thought you were my age, 25. That's so interesting, but thank you. You have had some kind of surgery again. No, I've said this to you guys. I have not had any surgery or fillers. This one's interesting. Someone has said you're a bit bitchy and standoffish. I really hope not. If I've ever come across that way, then I hate that. But no, I honestly couldn't be further from it, I think. You are the only child. No, I'm not. I have an older brother and he is 2 years older than me. You're jealous that G calls Mish her bestie. No hate. PS, love you. Love you too. No, again, I feel like I've already touched on this in this video, but I don't understand how anybody could get jealous about that. People are definitely allowed to have more than one friend in this life, so no, that is not true. So the final one that I'm going to end this on is you are really loyal. I feel like that's a nice one to end it on, because I would like to say yes, I feel like I am, especially to my friends. I'm a very loyal person when it comes to my friends. I don't know. I just thought that was quite a sweet one to end it on. So I feel like that is where I'm going to end off today's video. Thank you guys so much for getting involved in this. It was literally so interesting to hear your assumptions and go through them in this video. If you do want to get involved in the future, I'm sure I'll do another one of these. Or even if I just do a Q&A and stuff, then I will always ask for my questions over on my Instagram. So make sure you go and give that a follow. Please also feel free to hit subscribe if you want to see more from me in the future. But that being said, thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will speak to you all very soon in my next one. Bye guys.